Why didn't the skeleton cross the road? Because I didn't have the guts to.
Ha ha, hardy har. You want to say hi? What are you doing, silly? You got a bag on your foot? There's my baby sister.
Hello.
We are addressing her wedding invitations right now in our cozy snug. This is a good place to address wedding invitations, huh? Y'all, I feel like Gretchen Wieners is as wide as she is tall. She's not pregnant, she's just fat. All these goats are looking pretty fluffy fantastic. Isn't that right, Clover? So, hey guys, they're looking so curly. Look how curly they look. You talking to them?
I'm waving so hard, I actually cut my hair. And it's not. I'm waving so.
So here's the babies. We'll be letting them out soon. They just came running out here. They came out here, but they're shivering and cold, so they're probably about to go back into their house. They're so cute. They've already like doubled in size at least.
Wait, yes I am.
So it's Sunday evening, so next day, and it's dinner time. Our live is on Sunday evening, so I will be seeing you guys before you see this. And I just cooked dinner, and I thought we would run outside and take a look at the garden really quick, because something pretty exciting I noticed earlier today. I made a really unhealthy dinner tonight, confession time. I actually fried chicken wings and homemade french fries, and I hate frying food. So my deal is with Jackson, who is the one who requested the chicken wings, that I would make them, but then he had to sauce them, so he's gonna do that. So I was pulling this sauce out of the pantry, and this is chili sweet sauce from Trader Joe's. And I was just thinking about the little things that I do that sometimes I recognize. These are the things my children are gonna make fun of. Like when they're grown and they all come home for Thanksgiving and they talk about their old mom and the things that she did. So we call these sugar sauces, like barbecue sauce and ketchup and stuff like this, and it's like we call them like barbecue sugar sauce and like chili sugar sauce and even ketchup I'll call ketchup sugar sauce. And the reason why, I think that it makes sense. So, oh goodness, I thought I would come over here by the window and have better light, but it's very bright. So the reason why I do that is not to be condemning about that stuff, but I think there are a lot of things in the American diet that we say, oh, we'll just do that in moderation, but there's really no moderation whatsoever. And when I was pregnant with Asher, I was really young. It was in my early 20s, and I knew nothing about nutrition at all. To me, cooking dinner was opening up cans and boxes and pouring it all in a pot. I went to the doctor, and I was gaining a lot of weight during my pregnancy. And the doctor talked to me about my diet, and I was like, I think I eat pretty healthy. And we just started talking, and the doctor very kindly pointed out to me that I was actually consuming like my daily value of calories in condiments and frappuccinos. So that was when I learned how much sugar was in that stuff, and I just genuinely didn't know. I was just completely ignorant to it. And so with my kids, like, I'm okay with having chicken wing night where they put those sauces on, but we call them sugar sauce because those are so sugary. And so then whenever they want to eat something and they're like, hey, can I have some sauce with this? I'll say, do you think that sugar would be the best thing to make this better? And sometimes they say, sometimes they say, yeah, I really want some of that sauce, and that's okay. And sometimes they'll say, well, maybe some mustard, or they'll think of some other things that they could put on it that isn't sugar. So it's just about kind of keeping it real and teaching them what's what. It's one of those things though that I can, every time I say it, somehow I'll just feel like, oh man, this is gonna stick. And this is gonna be one of those things that they like distinctly remember me saying as a kid. They already rag me about stuff. They'll like want to eat some junk, and they'll be like, hey, that's not organic, or that's bad for your body. And they say it in this voice. I'm like, is that what you hear when I say that to you? Hey, AC, you want to come with me? Come on. Come on, let's go to the garden. Ace is learning. He doesn't really have the sense for me to feel okay taking him like into the chicken coop off leash, but He's learning how to keep up. He can hang at some point. I have hope that he's gonna be a really cool dog to hang out with. So here's what I wanted to show you guys. Oh, that's not gonna work. Ace, come on, get out of there. Good boy. Come on. All right, Jackson's gonna take Ace inside because he seriously just jumped up and I was trying to take a video of him and he nabbed the dead cat off my microphone, the gray fluffy thing, and just took off with it. Oh my gosh. The viral potential content that happens whenever I can't have the camera on is ridiculous. Ace is gonna go inside. He's still such a puppy that really I don't like to take him around while I'm trying to shoot a video too, because he really needs to be on leash so he doesn't form bad habits. The main thing with training dogs is not giving them opportunities to do the wrong thing, because once they learn to do that, that's inevitably what they do. So what I was trying to show you guys is all of the baby garlic that's coming up in this bed. There's a whole lot of it. It's hard to see, but I'm super excited to see all of these little guys coming up here, all the way down to the end of this bed. I was late getting my garlic in this year, and so the bulbs might be a little bit smaller, it might take a little bit longer, but I'm glad that it's coming up. It's looking good. And these guys are coming along out here. I have not been touching them as much as I usually do for seedlings as they come up, and I feel like it shows. Like they're kind of a little weak. Of course they don't have a lot of movement. You see some of them lay over and they don't stand back up. So I came out here yesterday and ran my hands across all of them, and I'm gonna try to do that more regularly. In the spring when I'm starting tomatoes and a little bit later on, I'm so desperate to be around the growing stuff that I spend so much time in the greenhouse and I touch all of them a lot. And I noticed the other day that these were kind of puny in the stalks like this, and it's just because they haven't had any moving air. I'm thinking now that we have the power run to this greenhouse and there's actually plugs in there, I'm going to plug up a little space heater this week and see exactly how warm I'm able to keep it in there before I really need it to be warm. Because here just in a few weeks I'll have actually some frost tender seedlings getting going, and I need to know if I need to keep them in the house or how soon I can move them out here. All of this stuff that's in there right now is frost hardy, so if it gets below freezing in the greenhouse, it doesn't really matter. Let's walk down the front property line and go down here and see these big old hogs. Here's the greenhouse from another view that you don't usually see unless you live near me and drive past my house. Oh, you're gonna lead the way, Gary Cat? Gary. We got bird song going on out here and everything. It actually feels pretty warm today. It's a lot cooler yesterday, but we're still not even freezing at night. It's getting close, and we had some really cold nights that were well below freezing last week. But this has just been a very, very mild winter. Hey, big girls. Hey. Y'all see these hogs? They're so big. They haven't warmed up to me yet, even though I bring them treats. They're really huge. I don't know what kind they are. Just some heritage breed mix, I'm assuming. But we just bought them to finish feeding out. They're really big. Our Mangalitzes are going to take another year to feed out, so this is basically the stopgap between now and then. Today, I was actually going through some old notebooks looking for something, and I found this article, and I ended up going and looking it up. It was published in the magazine that I write for. It was one of the first articles I ever wrote for them. I wrote it like the month or two after we moved into this house onto our farm. The article is called Becoming Country. I guess you could call it an essay. And I was reading it today, and basically I wrote it after we had moved into this place, but before we had anything that was a homestead. We had no garden beds, we had no chickens, we had nothing. And it was really sweet to read, honestly. I'll put a link to it down below. Hey KG, what's up, little dude? Oh, did I poke you in the face? You got a leaf on you. Oh, Gary can't miss out. Can't miss out. But yeah, I'll link it down below to where you guys can read it on the online site for the magazine. It was just really, it was cool to me to go back and kind of read my anticipation and my hope for what I have now, like before I had it. So I don't know, it was sweet. Hey girls! Hey! Hey beauty queens, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. Oh, everybody's looking good. Let's go see our new girl over here. Hey Winona, she has not quite made friends with everybody yet. She hangs out over here by the barn. Now we put our new little buck right here. His name's Ross Poldark is what we named him. And we put him in with Margot. She's not really sure about the arrangement, but basically we weren't sure about putting him, because he's kind of a little guy, and we weren't sure about putting him in with the other boy goats and the boy alpacas. I just didn't want him to get beat up on because he is young. He's less than a year old, but he is too mature to keep in with all the girls. And I didn't want to completely stress him out by putting him in by himself. So I put Margot in with him because eventually she will be bred to him. And so if she is bred to him now, it will be okay. Basically the way that we're gonna work this out, once we get all the barns and the fences done, we're, I don't know the right word, raking out this pasture so that it will grow grass. That's happening here in a few weeks. We have a friend with some equipment coming over that we're hiring to do that. And basically we're getting all this stuff situated. So this yard here is gonna rest for a little while, and it's going to grow grass back. And this will eventually be, just this small space will be where we keep strictly mamas who are in milk and babies. And so this will never be like overrun, and hopefully that will deal with any sort of parasite issues that we've had in the past with babies, that I think if it's really honestly just come from overpopulation. But with that, since we knew we were going to have a designated space, we decided that it wouldn't be a bad thing if we had any goaties that we're going to be kidding in June. That's a little late. We have kidded as late as July before, and you can do it, but obviously you just have to be more proactive when it comes to parasites. I'm excited for that setup though. I think it'll be really nice. So then we'll have the milking mamas right here by the house. We can come out of the back porch and go right there to the milk stall and milk. We'll have the babies close by so we know that they're safe, and then all the other goats will kind of have more space to rotate around in a couple different pastures. Look at all of these guys. Are you ready for your close-up? Do you need attention? Oh, jelly, okay. Jeremiah named that new buck Ross Poldark, so for those of you who are also PBS Classics fans, there you go. we love a good historical drama. So there's one more thing that I've been meaning to talk to you guys about, but I just haven't made a whole lot of videos lately. I shared this on a live video a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I guess it's been 2 weeks ago, about a friend of mine. Her name is Jessica, and she actually works for Baker Creek. And Jessica is the one who, when I had a small YouTube channel a couple years ago, she's the one who basically found me and was the connection that began to invite me to Baker Creek stuff. And that's how I am connected to Baker Creek. And on New Year's Eve, right before New Year's, Jessica and her husband Ted went home and found out that their house was on fire. And essentially, they lost everything. If you've ever been through a house fire, I have not, but I've talked to some people who have said that it is an incredibly overwhelming loss, because between smoke and water, even if the house doesn't burn to the ground, I mean, it's just very easy to lose everything that you own. And that's essentially where they are. And on top of that, I had been meaning to get this in a video. I wanted to share about it, and we talked about it on the live. And then Ted got in a really bad car wreck, and so then they lost their vehicle. And so it's been a very, very, very trying few weeks for them. I messaged Jessica and encouraged her to allow her friends to love on her and to get over the difficulty that she has, I know a lot of people have, in receiving, because she's one of those people that just is constantly lavish on everybody, and it's hard for people like that sometimes to receive. And she said okay, and so we did like a GoFundMe type thing and a PayPal type thing. We ended up kind of moving it over to PayPal because some people were concerned about fees and all of that. So I'm gonna put the PayPal link down below, and if you feel inclined whatsoever to bless this family, I vouch for them as being good ground to sow into. And her faith has been really, really inspiring during this time. And I cannot imagine what it feels like to have so much raining down on you at the same time and still standing in a strong place of being like, I know that it's gonna be okay. And I just would love to open the opportunity to you guys to be a part of the testimony of that happening and it being okay. So I'm gonna put that link down below. It's the Dammons. They have a little girl named Jaylee, and I would just love to see this family massively blessed. From the fundraising efforts already, all of you guys have been instrumental in helping them buy a small used camper. They have land and animals and stuff, so they can't really just go stay somewhere else. They've got to stay close to take care of everything that they have, even though they don't have a house to stay in. And but of course they're missing a lot of work and all of that stuff. So I would love to see us continue to bless them, and that with everything that they're having to worry about right now, that finances and replacing their things and paying their bills would not be one of the things that they have to be stressed about. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today, and I guess yesterday, since this vlog kind of spanned those two things. I've got some really cool content coming up that I've been working on for you. Been using that time to brainstorm, and I'm so excited for the next few weeks of YouTube. I'm excited for what I'm gonna be producing and sharing with you guys. So thank you again, and I bless you. Until next time.